On January 13th, 1811, many enslaved Africans were sentenced to death by firing squad. After they were shot, the heads of several of them were cut off and placed on poles with spikes along a river in Louisiana. So, just what could have led to this display of barbarism? What could the Africans have done to warrant displaying their severed heads on poles spread over 60 miles? Welcome to the Sankofa Pan African series. Please support us through Patreon and by buying me coffee. Subscribe if you've not yet done so, and please turn on your notification buttons so you know when we have new episodes. Please also share our videos with your contacts. Well, let's go back to the 8th of January 1811, when more than 500 enslaved people took up arms in one of the largest slave rebellions in U.S. history. Actually, the events that led up to the rebellion can be said to have started off in Haiti. Yes, Haiti, that country which served as an inspiration for so many rebellions after the Haitians took on Napoleon and other European powers and defeated them resoundingly to gain their independence. Please watch our two videos on Haiti. One is titled, How Did Toussaint Louverture Abolish Slavery in Haiti? And the other is, Why is Haiti so poor? So if you've not yet done so, make time to watch them to get a better idea of why I'm linking this rebellion to what happened in Haiti. Now, the reason why I said that the story of the Louisiana rebellion was connected to Haiti, or Saint-Domingue as it was formerly known, is because the person who led the Louisiana rebellion was apparently one who was inspired by the Haitian defeat of France and the subsequent independence of that country. His name was Charles Deslandes. Some studies report that Charles Deslandes was born around 1789 on the plantation of someone named Jacques Deslandes, and that he was a Creole of mixed race. Other accounts say he was of Haitian origin. For me, I think the important thing to note is that one way or another, this young man, Charles Deslandes, had come to have knowledge not only about the Haiti's success in gaining independence, but he also knew some of the techniques that the Haitian used during their rebellion. On the 8th of January 1811, Charles Deslandes led a small band of slaves into the mansion of the plantation owners, where they wounded Andre and killed his son, Gilbert. The revolutionaries then armed themselves with muskets and ammunition from Andre's basement. Just as the Haitians had confiscated and adopted European military uniforms in order to drive home the seriousness of their mission, Charles Deslandes and his group dressed up in Colonel Andre's military uniforms. By wearing the military uniforms, the group in Louisiana gave their revolt military authority and also aligned themselves with the Haitian Revolution, which had succeeded just about 10 years before their own rebellion. Research shows that many of the rebels had copies of the French Declaration of the Rights of Man, which they had before then hidden in their slave quarters. Even before this major rebellion, Some of the enslaved people who joined this revolution had been secretly leading smaller attacks in the region for years leading up to the Louisiana Revolt. Some of the enslaved people had been warriors in their own homelands in Africa before they were captured, so they were skilled in the art of warfare. Their objective was also to replicate the Haitian success by establishing an independent black state along the banks of the Mississippi. After the attack on the Andre Mansion, the group of revolutionaries embarked on a march down River Road towards New Orleans. Other enslaved Africans kept joining them. In addition to the muskets and ammunition that they had, others carried knives used to harvest sugarcane on the plantation on which they had been enslaved. They also carried hoes and clubs. As they marched onwards towards New Orleans, they burned some plantations, chanting "Freedom or Death." The plan was to reach New Orleans, where they hoped others would join them. Unfortunately, as the number of revolutionaries swelled to more than 500 strong, the U.S. federal troops and militia made up of slave owners mounted a counterattack. 2 days after the beginning of the rebellion, on January the 10th, 1811, at Jacques Fortier's plantation near what is now Rivertown in Kenner, the federal troops pushed the rebels to turn back and run into a waiting ambush that had been mounted by the militia. Now, the militia then was able to successfully block the revolutionaries' retreats and then massacred dozens of them. They then went on to cut some of them into pieces. The leaders who survived the carnage were rounded up to face a tribunal on January 13th, 1811, and many were sentenced to death by firing squad. And like I said earlier, after they were shot, their heads were cut and placed on poles in spikes over a distance of about 60 miles along the river in order to scare others off the idea of rebelling. The story doesn't quite end there, because the enslavers then went to the elaborate effort of undermining the magnitude of this uprising. They did this by using propaganda. Now, their propaganda then claimed that the uprising was nothing more than a bunch of brigands who were only on a pillaging spree. And they actually succeeded in keeping this brave effort by enslaved Africans almost completely secret until recently, when researchers like Wendell Hassan Marsh and Daniel Rasmussen helped to unearth the truth. Thanks for watching. Please support us through Patreon and by buying me coffee so we can continue to bring you this series. Subscribe if you've not yet done so. Don't forget to turn on your notification buttons, and also share our videos with your contacts. And please keep your comments coming.